All right, guys, I've been trying to figure out how to word this. I'm at undisclosed lot 60. The surveyors have just left. I had an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity, and everything I'm going to say in this video is my opinion. So I pulled up, the surveyors were wrapping up. I'm like, oh, this is awesome to catch these guys with their points fresh in their mind, to talk to them about what they see here. So the other lot, undisclosed 48, is where I pulled up. I'm like, holy smokes, those survey pins for the finished floor elevations sure look low. Maybe we should jack the building up. Now, this is the northernmost, the furthest point of this construction. So that gave me reason to imagine that maybe that lot condition might be witnessed again in this whole area. I do not trust my eyeballs other than just saying, that looks tough. So I asked the pro. Who is the pro? The man with the tools in his hand. So had a great talk with this surveyor, and man, this is so hard to see. You see the bottom of that V, that's finished floor elevation. And I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but I was like, holy smokes, that looks a lot like the condition over there, where basically the back 80% of this lot has to drain that way. So I started talking with the man. Well, what do you notice out here? He said, the earth is high. Well, that's kind of what I thought over there. It was verified later. My assumption was right, not that I was right. I don't know. I'm not going to buy a $6,000 survey and transit rig and reinvent the wheel. So I'm like, what would you do? He says, I jack the slab up at least 6 inches. 6 inches is not a small amount. If we don't, and I asked him, because I was thinking I would make a video about this to try to have a little more content rather than me rambling. And he told me what I kind of thought. He says, well, you're going to have to remove a lot of earth over here. Move it over there. Well, that probably means that lot's condition is high. We got to jack that slab up. And then on down the road, you start moving dirt. I don't know. Or if you don't raise the slab, you're going to have Mount Everest when you get over there of earth. Now it's got to come off the job. And nothing in this whole business is perfect. It's the goal of perfect should be there. So, that free hammer. That's the surveyor. So I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to get that back to him, because that man needs this tool to work. Superintendents, if you ever find a tool on a job, do everything you can to get it back to the man that needs this. This is looking out for your man, okay? So finished floor elevation. The camera can't see it, but man, oh man, it sure looks like the earth towards the back of this structure starts going up. And I got to drain the back 80% back there. And look how low my proposed slab is, and water can't go uphill to get there. You don't need to be a rocket surgeon to just stand there. And please, young superintendents, talk to your survey foreman. I cannot emphasize this enough. I mean, ask them, man, what are the top 2 things you wish every super knew about surveying? Now, between all of them, you're going to hear different opinions, but the knowledge they have of what they have seen, the screw-ups they've seen, oh my goodness. None of this is taught in school, of what to do when you see something could be wrong. In school is taught, oh, it should go this way. 2 plus 2 is 4. Well, what if 2 is actually 1.5? Then the answer is not correct. But how do you know if it's a 1.5 and not a 2? I can't tell you that answer, but just talking with the man with the tool in his hand and observing and get into his mind of what he's thinking. He's sent out here to shoot what we sent him to shoot. He's not doing an audible. You should never do audibles out there without consulting management. Never act like a cowboy. But please give your company an opportunity to bring observations for them to consider. So this makes me assume we have lot conditions that are higher than we thought. And then the proposed FFEs, if we just say, well, in school, it says to go off the FFE in college. Well, wouldn't it be great if it was a perfect world? But it's not, but that's okay. We have people around us that have great knowledge, skill, experience. They say, hey man, what would you do here? I'm not a big golfer, but I know if I went to another golf course and I'd never played it before, and I found this guy, like say a club member, I'm like, how do you play this hole? Well, as long as, my 14th club's a machete, so even if he tells me how to play it, I'm going to tank it in the woods. I mean, you got to have a lot of balls to play golf the way I do. But at least I know to ask the club member, how would you play it? And I guess that's the best analogy I could come out with here. But it looks like with these couple observations of these undisclosed lot, we may have saved our company tens of thousands of dollars. I'm just guessing at that figure. Don't quote me on that. We've probably given our management an opportunity to save thousands of dollars of removing fill off of this whole section that I'm walking around. I hope this doesn't turn out to be rambling. I sure really hope you young guys can find a couple things. It's probably my poor ability to communicate this, but there's great opportunity to be great.